What's up, UA fam? Ashley here. And if you love this podcast and you actually find yourself re-listening to episodes and wanting more of Taryn and I, guess what? You should subscribe to our Supercast where we give you bonus content every single week. But not just basic episodes, we do interactive episodes like personalized AMAs where you can specifically ask Taryn how her dating life is going, and you can specifically ask me how it's been living with my boyfriend this past few months. We do solo episodes and even scary episodes because we know how much you guys love those scary stories. And our Supercast community has been growing exponentially, so don't miss out. Subscribe to Supercast now and join the fun.
Happy almost Valentine's Day.
What's your favorite holiday?
It's my favorite.
Uh-huh.
Where does it rank for you?
Valentine's Day is just, it's a day to dress up, look cute, go to dinner.
I love love. I love love.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I have a Valentine this year if he's in town.
Oh, I was like, want to share?
I think.
Y'all on the rocks? Like, what's going on?
No, yeah, who knows? Who knows? But every time we pre-record anything, I'm like, dear God.
We'll see.
Hopefully. I do have a fun fact, though, for us for
hit us
Valentine's
with
Day.
it.
This is wild. Well, maybe not to you, but I think it's wild. How many candy hearts do you think they produce each year for Valentine's Day?
Oh my God, I have no idea. Oh my God. I don't even know where to start. I don't even know.
This, according to this, it says 8 billion candy hearts are produced each year for Valentine's Day.
That's a lot of candy hearts. They're not even that good.
I think they're disgusting. They're so aesthetic and cute.
They're adorable. I'd rather them be like little like Lucky Charm marshmallows instead of the chalkiness that they are.
It is very interesting, like why they. I get because they're the classics, but I'm like, you can't change the formula.
I know.
They released those sweet tart ones.
Sweet tarts love.
Those are good.
That's a whole different game. But
yeah, I'm like, y'all
originals?
Let's step it up.
Yeah.
Also, I thought it was interesting. Out of all marriage proposals that happen, 10% of them happen on Valentine's Day.
Really?
Which, that's kind of wild, but also I weirdly thought it would be more. But also I would hate that.
I see the appeal. Like, it's the day of love.
Yeah.
Like, you're gushing about like, I love love. It's Valentine's Day. It makes sense to like propose to the love of your life on Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
What makes more sense that Jackson said he had this realization. His sister and her husband have 3 kids. Like, there's like a good like range of ages, but they all have very similar birthdays. And they finally traced like the conception day was probably Valentine's Day for all of them.
What?
And I was like, that
wild.
makes sense.
No, that's an I should look that up. But yeah, it would
Like,
be
that
interesting
would be a
to know
really
how
interesting
many
fact. Like, how many
births.
birthdays are
9 months after Valentine's
roughly
Day.
give or take a few days, 9 months away from Valentine's Day. Today's episode is brought to you by Ritual. I don't know about you guys, but January was a doozy. Between work, my relationships, responsibilities that I juggle every single day, my stress was through the roof and I was having to really take it back a notch. But something that was a game changer in that whole process was Ritual Stress Relief. This product uses first of its kind technology to support your body's natural cortisol response so that you can take on the daily juggle. Ritual suggests taking stress relief in the morning when cortisol is typically at its peak to support the body's natural cortisol response with an instant and extended release of formulation all day long. That's an 8-hour release, guys. Listen, guys, the juggle is real and I get it. And so does Ritual. Don't just respond to stress. Get ahead of it with stress relief from Ritual. Get 25% off your first month at ritual.com/advice. Start Ritual or add stress relief to your subscription today. That's ritual.com/advice for 25% off.
I have always loved this holiday, which I think people have always thought was strange because I've been single for most Valentine's Day.
Oh, the most consistent Valentine of my entire life is Taryn.
And I go all out, baby.
She does.
All out.
I get cards. I get chocolates. I get flowers.
I love it. I love love. I love like
a man could never. Taryn has set the bar so high. I don't even expect.
What can I say? Yeah, it's just, I love this holiday. So I'm super excited. We decided we usually talk, every episode is pretty much the destruction of love. So we were like, let's try to make this a positive episode.
Yeah.
Try being the keyword.
Maybe not destruction of love, but we do tear it apart a little bit sometimes.
No, the stories are usually love falling apart. It's
Here and
not
there.
us.
Right.
We're just reporting the news as it comes.
Yeah. It's not,
No.
you can't pick what we read.
Yeah.
What?
So we asked for meet cutes literally months and months ago.
Yeah.
And so we were like, okay, well, meet cutes are so positive and fun.
Yeah.
So we're going to do that for our story. I'm so excited about mine. It's so cute.
Yeah. I love a meet cute. I love hearing how even people I'm not super close with, I want to know how y'all met. Like, I want to know, I see a happy looking couple sitting across the restaurant. All I want to know is, what were your first words to each other? Like, when did you first see her? Like, when did you know?
Yeah.
Like, how did you meet? Like, it's such a fun background story to the relationship.
Yeah.
And it's just so cute.
It's so fun. Do you have a favorite Valentine memory?
Probably with you.
Like what?
I'm pretty sure like our first like really like intentional
Yeah.
hangout was on Valentine's Day because we were both single. And we went to breakfast, and then we came out to LA and went to the Grove and like had a whole day.
Got candy.
Yeah. And I don't know why, but like that's the first thing.
Oh,
All the other
the birth of
guys
us.
were just kind of nothing crazy, nothing out of the ordinary.
Yeah.
So that would probably be
Yeah.
when I think Valentine's Day, I'm not joking. I think of you.
I love this.
Probably because I just don't, I love it. I have so much fun every time, especially now that I'm with Jackson. Like I always make sure we get dressed up. Like we
dinner.
get each other a little present, nothing crazy, just like a tiny little gift, and like go to dinner and stuff like that. And I thoroughly love that. But I've known you longer.
That's right, Jackson. I was your first.
So yeah, I literally can't help but like think of you when I think of this holiday.
I just
all
like
of the times we've like hung out.
I think it's because it's like the one day where like I can unleash like my romantic self, like whatever that looks like.
Mm-hmm.
And especially younger, I think I've shared before, but like one of my favorites, because also like when you're younger, you're like more broke and you're more creative about like what you do.
Yeah.
So I remember like I watched a YouTube video and like made chicken parmesan, which back then I was like,
wild.
I am a chef.
Right.
Like, Chef Boyardee.
Yeah. If it was edible, that was a win.
I was like, wow. So I like made that, and like I had like music playing, and I like made a little restaurant and it was so funny. This is so lame, but like also whatever. But my parents, because I was living at home, and so my parents were out for the night, so they said I could use like the whole house. So I had like different sections. So like the living room was like a little restaurant, and then after we ate, we like danced, and it was all cute. And then my room, I made like a tent fort, and I had like made chocolate dipped strawberries, and his favorite movie was playing with like all these lights and like whatever. So then we did that, and then in my parents' jacuzzi, I had set out little like glasses with like not alcohol. It was like sparkling cider. And there was like glow sticks everywhere. And so like that was like the finale.
That
and
is
I had
so
like
precious.
disposable cameras, and we were just like taking pictures and like whatever.
The way I like handmade a card and was like, there you go.
Be mine.
You're so lucky to have me.
But it's funny because like I've never, I mean, my ex did like towards the end, he did some pretty like epic dates and stuff too. But I've always had like Valentine's where like I went all out and the other person didn't. And it doesn't really like faze me.
No.
I'm very easily entertained, or like my first Valentine's with my ex, we weren't like fully dating yet. And I handmade him this like really cool like art project thing. Mm-hmm. And I like gave it to him. I was like, I know we didn't say gifts or anything, but like whatever. And he like reached in his pocket, and he had worked with kids. And so one of the kids had given him just those little like foldable whatever. And he like with a pen really fast, like scratched out their name and put mine and was like, here. And it's like, but I like saved it. And I was like, it was like in my scrapbook. Cause I was like, that's so cute. So I'm like so easily entertained and like feel loved so easily by just like the tiniest thing. But I go like all out. I can't help it.
Yeah, no, I definitely, I was like little things. It was never like that, like flowers and like stuff like that, but that was kind of it. I actually will say mine and Jackson's last Valentine's Day was epic. we went to now I'm going to blank on what it's called, but there is a really cool live jazz, like 1920s style restaurant / live music dance place that we went to last year in downtown. I had so much fun.
Yeah.
I got dressed up. I had a cute little dress and like heels, and I did like my hair up, and he looked really good. He had like not a full on suit, but like pretty damn near close because it said black tie. Everyone showed up full send, like black tie, or they went like full flapper girl,
Cute,
like did all the things. And there was a huge big band live performance the entire time. Everyone got a rose when they walked in, and then there was this giant dance floor, and it was like there were people that were 20 and there were people that were like in their 80s dancing.
Love that.
And it was so much fun and so pretty.
That's so cute.
And it's like downtown is such like it's like not great. Downtown LA is like not great, but there's so many cool hidden gems like that.
Yeah, there really are.
Like it was so much fun. I would totally copy paste, do that same date again for this Valentine's Day because it was an absolute blast. Cicada.
How could you not?
I don't know.
Remember that name?
Cicada. It's called the Cicada Restaurant and Lounge, and on Valentine's Day specifically, they had like, it was all Valentine's Day themed. It was like very like red and pinks and like stuff like that. And I think they're open all the time for like regular dancing and music, but this was an extra fun Valentine's Day date. So if you guys are in LA and you need an idea, gentlemen,
there you go.
Do it. Or if you're the girl and you're like, he won't plan it, I will though. Do it.
Yeah.
Highly recommend. It was so much fun.
No, for sure. There's nothing wrong with that. Like, honestly, I feel like, especially like men or like men who think they're not romantic get stressed out by the idea of it. So they just don't do anything. And that's the worst thing you could do. Yeah. Like most women, if they see you putting effort into something, they're going to love it. Yeah. So it's like opening doors. It's getting flowers on your way home. Like it's if you're in a store and you see her favorite candy bar and it makes you think of her, like grabbing it for her and just being like, hey, like thought of you, got this. Like it's the simple little things that make it special. Yeah. So don't overthink it, but just like do something out of like, think about the person you're with and be like, what is something that would make them happy?
100%.
And then you just do it. Yes. And simple.
100%. Yes. Love it.
My man's, he is like, I'm not romantic. He's like he doesn't think he's like a romantic person. But like I was sick the other day.
Perfect, because you are.
I'm like,
you can buckle up. You can make up for where he lacks.
No, literally. Every time I do things for him, he's like, that was so thoughtful. And I'm like, this is just a Tuesday. What are you talking about? Yeah. But I was sick and he like came over and like made tea. Like I'm talking like peeled the ginger and like lemon and like boiled a pot of like tea that his dad had always made him. And I was like, afterwards, like we sat down and I looked at him, I was like, this is romantic.
This
like,
is thoughtful.
This is thoughtful. Like I feel very just like
the way I would Postmates tea bags for
exactly. Me showing up with a medicine ball, like,
I'm like,
hey. Yeah. But I was like, I think that's where like the disconnect is you think like romantic is like big flashy like gestures, and it's like, no, it's the simple things that make someone feel like, oh, like you thought about this.
Also,
like,
I feel like oftentimes, like most times, romantic isn't flashy.
Yeah, it's like simple.
I don't want flashy because that feels like it's more for you than me.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
that's a hot take on that.
Hot take.
Today's episode is brought to you by Ritual. I don't know about you guys, but January was a doozy. Between work, my relationships, responsibilities that I juggle every single day, and then the news hitting me hard every single day, I was just tapped out. My stress was through the roof, and I was having to really take it back a notch. Managing stress can be so hard, and there are some things that I find so impactful, like my daily exercise routine, finding time for self-care, like having a me moment, getting off my phone, reading, etc. But something that was a game changer in that whole process was Ritual Stress Relief. This product uses first-of-its-kind technology to support your body's natural cortisol response so that you can take on the daily juggle. Because it's not like you can just stop. If you guys have been following me on YouTube for a while, then you know that I have used Ritual for years now. I'm obsessed with their symbiotic and gut health. I absolutely love their daily women's vitamin. And now I'm obsessed with their stress relief because it's designed to optimize the release of a trio of clinically studied ingredients to help the body manage stress. Showed in ashwagandha ashwagandha has been clinically studied to support normal cortisol levels and reduce stress. Syntheanine L-theanine is clinically studied to provide quick stress relief within the hour and a non-drowsy sense of calm. I love the within an hour aspect. And Afron Saffron is clinically studied to provide a positive mood and reduce stress. Ritual suggests taking stress relief in the morning when cortisol is typically at its peak to support the body's natural cortisol response with an instant and extended release of formulation all day long. That's an 8-hour release, guys. Listen, guys, the juggle is real and I get it. And so does Ritual. Don't just respond to stress. Get ahead of it with stress relief from Ritual. Get 25% off your first month at ritual.com/advice. Start Ritual or add stress relief to your subscription today. That's ritual.com/advice for 25% off.
Do you have a turn it up?
I do.
Before we get mushy?
I'm very excited for this one because this is a Valentine's Day horror story.
Yeah, because
something to break it up from all the positivity we're going to be feeding you.
We can't be all positive because it's just like not us.
We need something to laugh at, you know?
Yeah.
So
we need something that makes us feel less alone.
And I skimmed a lot of the meet cutes and they're freaking adorable. So like this will be a good like little balance.
The appetizer.
An appetizer, if you will. Here we go. So I was dating a professional soccer player who had their training camp in Abu Dhabi over Valentine's Day.
Ooh.
Do you relate? Long distance?
Shut up.
Is that triggering for you?
Shut up, Ashley.
Is that triggering for you?
Shut up, Ashley. Okay. It's been 4 days now.
We had been dating for 6 months, traveling back and forth to each other after he had been traded to another team out of state. Due to the nature of our relationship being long distance, etc., I thought things were pretty serious. He was great at taking initiative to make sure we saw each other as much as possible. I knew all his teammates and the other wags. It felt like one big family, and I saw they put no red flags, all caps.
It's so much worse because at least when you ignored the red flags, you can blame yourself a little.
Yeah.
When you're like sideswiped, you're like,
man.
Man.
She continues, he would make a point to call me and make sure I felt assured before he would go out with the boys during camp, and I honestly never saw it coming. I had been out with him and the boys, and it was a surprisingly respectful group of guys that I never expected any side chicks or any problems when I wasn't around. On Valentine's Day, I was expecting something sweet because hello, why not? We had been through Christmas and birthdays at this point. He was always a guy with like a decent grand gesture. So literally anything, even though he was on the other side of the globe, would have been great and normal for him. He had always been thoughtful for things like this in the past, but then the day of Valentine's rolled around and nothing. No card, no flowers, not even a text. Damn. As I was anticipating literally anything arriving at my door, the more and more time went on throughout the day, I never heard from him. The afternoon rolls around and I finally texted him and he responds, "You thought we were Valentines?"
Oh, not you thought. That's literally like the punchline. You thought. Oh no.
Yikes. As if I have the wrong number or was on the receiving end of a bad joke. I dropped my phone and chose not to look at it the rest of the day, operating out of literal shock. That evening, my doorbell rang and I thought, surely this is the second half of this horrible joke.
Yeah.
But no, it was a box of my belongings from his house signed by his ex-girlfriend.
What?
With hand-drawn hearts all over it. That was the only thing I received that day, and I never heard from him again.
Are you okay?
You thought we were Valentines would kill me. That's crazy.
But also, like, why does he have to
wildin'.
send the stuff back on that day?
6 months. Birthdays, Christmas. Of course you're Valentines. Of course you're Valentine.
See, this is why we are all so scared. Because you can think everything's like totally fine.
Yeah.
And then with like a snap, like everything can shift.
Yeah.
And it's so crazy. This is why we all have trust issues.
I mean, do you remember this? I wonder if you remember this, but I was dating a guy once and it was nothing official. It was very new. And he was like, hey, let's get dinner. Like, when are you free? Like, let's get dinner this night. We'd already gone out a handful of times. And he chose Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
You were living with me at the time. And I was like, that's interesting.
Oh, yes.
So then
yes.
I didn't want to make a big deal out of it because he hadn't made a big deal out of it. But I was like, also, I guess I should kind of dress up. So I like looked nice, like nice, nothing crazy. But like, I think I had on a dress or something like that. Cause I was like, oh, I should probably be a little feminine. It's Valentine's Day. And then he showed up and like, I think you were, I remember you being outside with me for something. And I don't know why, but we were outside like talking when he came to pick me up. And he was very casual and he was like, oh, I didn't know it was Valentine's Day. And I was just like,
I hate men.
I was like, what do you mean it's February?
But also, like, isn't that the thing? Every man is like,
dodging?
You avoid Valentine's Day at all costs if you're
Yes.
not wanting the person to feel attached to you.
100%. So I'm not going to lie. Like in the back of my head, I was like, is this guy trying to make it official? He's asking me out on Valentine's Day. If I was a dude and I was trying to keep things casual, Valentine's Day would be highlighted in red. Like, don't use this date. You're busy with the boys, you know? Like I would be going out of my way to make sure that I knew. And then going on a date in February, period. Wouldn't you like double check and make sure it's not Valentine's Day if you didn't want that?
If I was like trying to like not lead someone on.
Yeah, if you're trying to be like player, then yeah, like you would be double checking it's February. There's one holiday in February.
It's literally one day.
Yeah.
That's dedicated to love.
Yeah. Like you literally, and I just remember sitting in the car feeling dumb because I was like,
dressed up.
I am in a dress and he didn't know it was Valentine's Day. And now I feel stupid. And I wasn't mad at him, but I was also just like, strike one.
I hate you. Yeah. I'm not mad at you, but I hate you.
Yeah. Do you have any Valentine's Day horror stories?
I don't think so because I mean, I've really only been in one relationship and our Valentines were like really fun and like cute. And then every other Valentine's has been, I'll either do like Galentines with a bunch of friends or like.
God, I love a Galentine.
Yeah, me too.
Maybe I'll try to throw one this year.
So yeah, I feel like I haven't had like horror stories because I haven't been like dating someone enough to where like we went out or like.
Yeah.
I don't know. Who knows? Fingers crossed this one's not a horror story. Dear God. Okay, well, shall we turn the tables?
Let's turn them tables.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and jump into our first one. This one, I will say, was very triggering to me.
Uh-oh.
This is titled A Love Story Straight Out of a Book. We love to hear it. Okay. Hello, ladies. My name is Margot, and yes, you can say my name.
Margot.
I'm 23 and an Enneagram Type 3.
So I'm going to start doing, if they say I can say their name, I'm just going to be like, Taryn.
Oh, is that your
Taryn.
Yeah. Taryn. Well, the test said I'm a 7, but I'm a self-proclaimed 3.
Okay.
Love that for you. You know better. You know yourself better. I'm a huge fan of the pod, and I always listen to it as I drive to school on Monday mornings. I love my weekly dose of big sister advice. I'm currently in vet school, only 1 year left, thank God, and writing my story for y'all was the best study break. A few episodes ago, Taryn requested that we send in our meet cute stories. Well, your wish is my command. Here's the story of how I met my boyfriend.
Yeah, I can't wait. I'm already excited.
I know.
I feel giddy.
2020 was rough for everyone. You can say that again.
Yeah.
Understatement of the year. But outside of COVID, I was really going through it. I had a friend pass away suddenly in January. My at the time boyfriend up and ghosted me on my 21st birthday. Okay.
What?
You know what? The other day, I was really struggling with some trust issues, like really struggling. And I was talking to someone about like why I have trust issues. And I don't think I've been cheated on, to my knowledge. Who knows, honestly? I swear my trust issues stem from us starting this podcast.
100% Taryn.
Because every story I read, I'm like, how is anyone supposed to trust anyone? How can you be boyfriend and girlfriend and just ghost and never talk to someone?
Let me tell you, the way reading your guys' stories has got me I'll like side-eye Jackson sometimes and just be like,
do you have a secret life?
What are you hiding?
Yeah.
What's going on?
Or like, when are you going to leave me with a note in the kitchen? Like,
and I'll literally be like, Ashley, Take a walk.
Yeah, this is not.
Go cool off.
No, I'm like, I almost need to start therapy
Yes.
just from you guys because what? People are terrible.
People are mean. That's what people
How
are.
do you ghost someone who you are in a committed relationship with?
Committed.
Like even just sending a text saying, hey, not feeling it,
Yeah.
have a good life would be better than that.
I mean, even my ghost of 3 months, it took me a second to bounce back from that because I was like,
it took us all a second because we were like, did he die?
Yeah.
So wild. So wild.
I choose to believe so.
I choose to believe that too. She continues, to top it off, I lost a beloved pet.
No.
On my first day of vet school. Dude, that's just the tip of the iceberg of the series of unfortunate events that was my life. However, that all started to change in September.
Okay.
My best friend Chloe, and she put, which by the way, that's the same Chloe from the Flaming Diva Cup tearing it up. Do you remember that one? Where she like boiled it and it like caught.
Yes. Wait, what?
I love this. Best friends writing
so
in.
her friend wrote in about the Flaming Diva Cup.
Yeah, and this
is her friend.
Her friend in the story.
Oh, how
know.
fun. Small world.
Invited me to be her +1 at a wedding. Now, I knew the bride, but not well enough that I would have gotten invited myself. Chloe thought this would be a good pick-me-up that I desperately needed. So, obviously, I accepted and made the trip to Kansas City. Chloe and I are the type of girls who just love the getting ready process more than the actual event. Honestly, same.
Tara knows the amount of first dates that were not a fail because I had a very therapeutic get ready with me session in my room. I love
a get ready.
Best feeling, getting ready.
Especially with a group of girls. Like you have your music on, you're like helping each other with your lashes.
I'd be sipping
like,
my Celsius. I'd be watching a YouTube video for how to apply my blush. I would have like fully like washed, scrubbed, lotioned my whole body. It's a great feeling.
Yep. So we spent lots of time rummaging through her mom's closet to find the perfect dresses. We did our hair and makeup and we headed off to the venue. The ceremony was lovely, and as two single girls do, Chloe and I were talking about what we wanted our weddings to look like. As a joke, we texted our friend Christina and asked if she would be an adult flower girl at my wedding. She responded, "What wedding?" You're going to have to find a man first, in a joking way. That's literally.
We know Christina.
Christina, we get it.
We get it.
We're trying to manifest and
Can you calm down?
Pretend that our life is better, so calm down. Soon after, it was time for the bouquet toss, and Chloe and I headed out to the dance floor to participate. And as fate would have it, that bouquet came straight to me.
Ooh.
I didn't even have to move. It just flew straight into my hands. I thought it was hilarious and came up with the brilliant idea to ask whichever guy catches the garter if he'll take a picture with me so I could send it to Christina to inform her that I found a man purely as a joke.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
When the garter toss ended, Chloe and I dashed straight to the guy who caught it, and I said, "I know this is strange, but can I take a picture with you? It's for a joke." He agreed, we took the picture, and then we parted ways. But I couldn't help but notice how handsome he was. And I definitely thought he was out of my league.
Nah.
Oh, and by the way, he was the best man. A few minutes later, the bride's mother came over to talk to me and Chloe, and she just casually mentions that the guy who caught the garter just happened to be single.
Ooh.
I laughed, as I really was just joking about finding a guy and honestly didn't think anything would come of this night. But shortly after, the bride herself came over and congratulated me on the bouquet toss. Me being socially awkward just blurted out, "Oh yeah, and I heard he's single too." She grabs my arm and drags me out to the dance floor and right up to the garter guy.
Cute.
She introduced us and then ran away. I looked at him, then looked at the bouquet that was still in my hand, and I said, "Well, I guess we're getting married now." This man responds with, "Well, then can I have the honor of our first dance?"
Excellent. Top-notch response.
Top-notch.
Grade A chemistry. That was really good.
Notch. She put, I know, I melted right there and then.
I mean, I'm swooning. I'm like, that is adorable.
Literally.
That is straight out of a movie.
Yes. Both of us have no dancing skills, but we were the party out there. Chloe videoed us dancing, and it is hilarious. We talked a little more that night, and I learned that his name was Justin. And as luck would have it, he lived in my hometown.
What?
of St. Louis, which was 4 hours away from the wedding venue.
Wait.
What are the odds that that was where he was from too?
That's crazy.
We then proceeded to text each other from our own tables across the room for the rest of the night.
Wait, you got his number already?
Yeah, they move fast.
Yeah.
They move fast.
First marriage, first dance, numbers.
I left that night thinking that if nothing else, I'd have a cool story to tell.
Yeah.
But here we are 2.5 years later, and there's an engagement ring hidden somewhere in this house. He's the love of my life, and I'm thankful every day for that bouquet landing right in my hands. I hope you enjoyed the story. I've attached the photo we took that night.
Oh my God.
The one we sent to Christina as a joke. I love you the mostest. Love, Margot. Dude,
Stop
I'm
it
obsessed
right now.
with this.
Oh my, you guys are so cute.
know.
Oh my God. I love that. That's crazy. You know what I love the most?
What, Ash?
You know what I love the most?
What, Ash?
You didn't have to do a thing.
Yeah.
I love that everyone in the room was like, I love that the mom came up and was like, he's single, right? You should probably jump on that, right? And then I love that the bride without hesitation grabbed your hand, dragged you out there. Like, that's what I would want my friends to do for me. And that's what I would want to do for my friends. Like you have a good group of people around you is what I'm saying. I love that you didn't even have to try. Like it just like happened so organically.
No, it's literally so cute. And like, that is like the thing, like whoever catches the bouquet
it's
and
like
the garter.
Joke.
Yeah.
It's always funny when they're like two happily married. Or not, I guess they wouldn't be there.
Well, you can't be married, but
like in a relationship. Yeah. When you're like, well, it's not him, but.
Yeah. The reason this story is so triggering for me is because I am the cheesy person who believes all that stuff and is like, oh my gosh, I have to catch the bouquet because I want to be the one getting married next. And I will literally like stiff arm like granny to like get that bouquet if I need to.
What's her name? What is her name? What is Melissa McCarthy's character in Bridesmaids?
Is me.
When she literally like punches the girls out of the way.
It's literally me. The amount of ugly photos that are in existence of me
All
just
the girls are like
hulked out. Yeah, no, it's disgusting. Anyways.
Taryn's throwing elbows.
I have caught, I'm not joking, I have caught probably 6. 6.
I haven't caught one.
6 bouquets, okay? And I catch them and I'm like, oh my God, it's finally happening. Nothing happens. So I hate that tradition.
It's like 27 dresses, but 27 bouquets.
Girl, literally. At first, I would like save them and dry them and be like, oh my gosh, this will be so cute someday when I'm like, oh my God, I got married and like, because I caught the bouquet. Yeah. And then, now I just like throw them away at the venue.
You are so pure.
Thanks, Ash. Not all it's cracked up to be.
My brain won't let me. Like, my brain doesn't even let me go that route. It's just like, that's false. That's fake. Don't get your hopes up. That's how my brain works.
You know, this is a very fascinating topic of conversation because it's like, what's better? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like to just be like, no, I'm not even going to get my hopes up, like whatever, or to get your hopes up over and over again. Like I am the definition of like getting back on the horse after you fall off. And like Ashley always makes fun of me because I'll be like, I'm going to stop cussing or I'm going to start drinking water. And then like 2 weeks later, I'm like, I'm going to start. And she's like, Taryn, you just said that like a month ago.
Yeah.
But it's like, there's something within me that just refuses to give up.
You're
and
resilient.
Like, when I am being hopeful, I'm the highest high. And like, the like disappointment gets me and I get sad and it's like hard to like get back up. But like, I don't know. I just try to like experience everything like in the fullest way I can. Mm-hmm. But it does create a lot of space for that. Like
living life to the fullest and being vulnerable in that way leaves you with a lot of scars.
Yeah.
Which, at least you lived life and you went out there and you gained experiences and all that stuff. If you're more like me, you don't have a lot of scars, but
you also haven't experienced as
really
many highs. Yeah.
Had as really big, like it was rare for like a guy to like really get me down because I never let them. It just wasn't an option. The walls are too high. It would take we'd have to be dating for a while for you to like break down the wall. So I don't have a lot of those scars in that way. So pros and cons. And it's just like, it's pros and cons. It's just two completely different ways of living life and neither one is right or wrong.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
No, it is crazy.
Which one are you?
Yeah. Which one are you? Listeners, we should
be honest.
Do like a poll.
Be honest with yourself.
Because it is very interesting and Yeah, to each has their own like good and bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's my meet cute. Hi, girls. My name is Brooklyn, and I'm a 27-year-old from Boise, Idaho. I absolutely love your podcast with all of the important topics that you guys cover, and I appreciate you guys more than I can even explain. I've never written into the pod before, but your idea of a meet cute episode sounded so fun, and I love mine and my hubby's story, so I decided to share. I don't know what to title this, but I hope you pick it regardless.
Remember when you were such a snob about titles?
I love it.
Yeah, Ash does love a good like eye-catching title.
Especially because I wouldn't even have to read the story. If the title got me, like I would just click it. I would click it so fast. Okay, here we go. Long story short, my husband and I met on Tinder. Ooh. However, he insists that I'm a stalker, and he's not entirely wrong. One day in 2015, I was scrolling through the apps and swiping no way too hastily. I saw his picture and immediately felt something, but didn't register that thought until my finger had already swiped past him.
I do that too.
I panicked. I immediately deleted my profile and re-downloaded it so that I could refresh my query and try to find him. I swear I'm not actually as crazy as this sounds, but I felt something, so I had to do it.
I don't think that's that crazy.
I don't think it's that crazy either.
No.
Especially having been on the apps for a while. Like if you find something good, you got do what you got to do, because otherwise you don't know that you'll see them again. After a while of not finding him, I gave up. I kept scrolling because why not? And then bam, I stumbled upon a guy who had a picture with my now husband on his profile. So it wasn't the profile she saw.
Yeah.
It was another guy. But she caught that
Dang,
this
she
guy was
his
in
face
the
fast.
She did. And it had to be fast because she said she was swiping so fast.
Yeah.
So that's crazy. That's really good. That's good skills right there. So I went to this friend's Instagram and stalked him ruthlessly until I found a picture with the man that I was looking for. I then went to said man's Instagram and slid in his DMs, and the rest is history. We got married in 2017. A side note, but very important note, I wanted to share. It still blows my mind that we didn't meet each other organically in real life. We both went to small schools who played each other in sports. I knew all of his friends in high school, but somehow never actually met him. Anyways, shortly after we started dating, he was at my parents' house. My mom had a picture of my brother playing baseball on the fridge. This picture had been on the fridge for, I kid you not, years. She puts in all caps. And my husband says to my mom, "Why do you have a picture of me on your fridge?" She laughed and said, "That's Brooke's brother, silly." And he said, "Yeah, he's batting, but I'm the catcher."
That's crazy.
So I unknowingly had been looking at a picture of my then boyfriend and future husband every day for years before I actually met him.
That is wild.
Sorry that this was so long. If you guys don't have time to share on the pod, I totally understand. I love you guys so much, Brooklyn.
That is actually insane.
Isn't that crazy?
I love when that stuff happens.
It's funny because she was like, it's weird that we never met. Like our lives were so entwined. Imagine being that entwined that you literally
have a photo.
You have a photo of him. Like, you know how people say you're in somewhere in this earth, you're in like a large amount of other people's photos, just like in the background living life. You never know. Maybe you're about to be in your future partner's
my gosh, that's
family
wild.
album. Isn't that crazy?
Is so nuts.
I love it. Kismet.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
It's one of those things that just makes the world and like everything feel so small.
Yeah.
That you're just like, that's what makes me want to like be more like you and take more risks. Cause I'm like, that's a beautiful story. I love that.
No, that's so cool. Oh my gosh. I'm obsessed with that. I definitely have done that on dating apps. Not.
Oh, Taryn can find someone.
I'm just saying.
Has skills.
If the FBI is listening, you should hire me as a spy because I would be excellent.
No, that meme of
top notch.
That meme of like, how did you find him? You didn't even know his name, and it shows the guy from You. Like, yeah, that's Taryn.
But I've done that before, where I've literally looked up. The guy had like a T-shirt that had like a logo on it, and so then I've like searched that, found out it was this, like gone to that, like looked up like that year to like whatever. I've like not all the time you can do it, but sometimes you can do it. And I have done where I came across a guy's profile and his friend, I was like, hello,
who's that?
I've never been able to stoop as low, which like guys have done this to me.
Yeah.
Where they'll be like, hey, your friend in the picture is like totally my type. Can like you hook it up? And I'm like, no.
That's not, I don't hate it, I guess.
I don't hate it, but I also am like, ew, no, she would never go for you.
I remember TK was living, this was in the middle of COVID when we were taking dating apps like extra seriously. And I remember finding this guy and thinking he would be TK's type.
But that's different to go in and be like, hey, I have someone that I feel like is totally your type. Then if someone connects with you, because obviously they're interested in you and they're like, oh, actually your friend's hot.
Yeah.
But I have, like, if I've been on a profile, I've seen a guy in a picture of his that I was like, hello, daddy, like, I need you. Then I will find their Instagram, go through their photos till I find that guy and hit tagged and I've slid in.
That's impressive. I've never done that.
Yeah.
I think I'm too lazy with stuff like that. Like, that sounds like a lot of work.
It really isn't. But if the motivation's there.
Right. Depends on how hot he is, I guess.
It depends how thirsty you are and how
long it's been.
But also, like, I don't know. I'm like, I also think that's a cuter story, sliding in a DM than, I guess, connecting.
Yeah.
But at this point, who the frick knows? All right, let's jump into another meet cute. And y'all, this one was written in by our one and only Mandy.
Gasp.
This one's titled A Childhood Meet Cute. Hi, it's Mandy, and I have a meet cute that is too good not to share. Before I was of age to go to school, my parents would drop me and my sister off at my grandparents' house so they could watch us. Even into elementary school age, my grandparents would pick me up from school and watch me and my sister until my parents got off work. My grandparents lived across the street from a family with a son who was my age, and since we spent so much time there, I got to know the little boy that lived across the street from my grandparents' house. I would go over to his house and he would come over to ours, and we would spend so much time playing outside, riding bikes through the neighborhood, you know, the usual after-school activities. We were definitely best friends throughout elementary school. Once I got to about 10 years old, my grandparents sold their house and I lost contact with the boy across the street. Since neither of us had phones or social media at that young of age. Fast forward to November 2021. After work one day, I check my social media and I see that I have a DM. It's from the boy across the street asking to FaceTime and catch up. Not having heard from him in literally a decade and curious to know what he's been up to, I agreed. Long story short, neither of us had intentions of dating, but here we are over a year into our relationship. That's
adorable.
First of all, so freaking cute. Second of all, love that he slid into the DMs and found you because he's been thinking about you all these years. Also, imagine like their wedding slideshow.
Jeez.
They're going to have like
literally them riding
pictures
bikes
of
together.
them together.
Yeah. And not like separate, like different. Yeah. Like literally in the same cul-de-sac riding their bikes.
They were each other's first love.
That's so precious. It's so funny because like that's all I ever wanted growing up. Like I would see like a cute neighborhood boy, you know, across from my aunts or my uncles or, you know, wherever the hell I was. I see a cute boy and I just be like, oh, this is how we meet, you know? And like,
or on my brother's T-ball team.
That never happened. That literally never happened to me. But then also just like, I'm like, see, you're obviously stunning. Mandy's obviously stunning.
Yes.
Obviously you guys don't know. But if you want to stalk her, I'm sure you could find her. Imagine being him and then like seeing your glow up and like, oh my God, you're like seeing you at such a young age and then seeing you like post however many years had it been?
It was like 10 years.
That's a big difference.
Yeah.
So like he saw like baby Mandy and then like a grown Mandy and was like,
wait,
God
is this
damn.
a photo? Stop it.
Mandy, you look exactly the same.
Let me see.
I love it so much. You look, it's so clearly you. I love that.
Oh my gosh, the cheeks.
The cheek.
Stop it. I'm obsessed with this.
Okay, can't wait. I'm coming to the wedding.
I literally,
you know.
There's so many times I hear stories like this. And when I was like single and I'd be like, oh my gosh, I would think through every guy I've ever had something with,
Yeah,
like, or
could it be?
every
Could it
guy
be?
like I went to elementary school with, and I would like look him up, and I'd be like, ugh.
Yeah.
Nope.
I
But
have,
it's like I don't feel like my high school was so monopolized by one guy who was the actual worst, but like I was obsessed and in love with him. So I don't have like a bunch of high school romances that I still would have a chance to be like, I married my high school sweetheart.
yeah. Yeah.
It's that road
I
is
didn't care
gone.
for anyone in high school, but there was someone that I like kind of grew up with. Similar, was like a neighbor of friends. I saw him all the time, ended up going to school with him. And if I wasn't like super in love with my boyfriend, I would be like, there's still hope. There's still a chance.
There's still a chance.
I was so obsessed with him, and the reason I'm probably still obsessed with like the concept is because he doesn't have socials.
So you don't know.
So
It's a
I have
mystery.
no idea what he looks like. And he was just like, oh my God, like picture like we're in like the early 2000s. He has spiky hair. He skateboards. He has the baggy dickies, and he was
Wow.
hot as hell.
Yeah.
And I just loved him. And in my head, he still looks like that because he doesn't have socials.
Let me tell you,
he could be
nothing-
a disaster. And I'm over here like,
Nothing remedied my like crushes I had on like the senior high school boys, like when I was in high school,
Yeah.
than going to the alumni baseball game and seeing them all like now.
Yeah.
And I was like, and I'm good.
I'll
never wonder.
There's another thing. Two different types of people. Which one are you? I have never gone to a single alumni anything because I don't care to and I don't want to, and no part of me is interested. But I have so many friends that have like done it and like loved it, and I'm
I've
like,
only
should
been
I
to
have?
like a couple, but also like I was very involved in high school, and I still have some family members that like work for that high school. So it's like easier for me to still,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? But
Fascinating.
wow.
All right, you ready for this one?
I'm ready.
The most unrealistic meet cute.
Ooh.
Hi, Taryn and Ash. Legit just paused the latest episode, 212, to write in this meet cute of my parents. Once I heard this story in high school, I knew no experience I could have ever had would be quite as movie-like as this one.
Aww.
For my parents' privacy, I guess I will remain anonymous, LOL, but obviously you too can know my name. Hi, I'm Bleep it, Michaela. It was July 3rd, 1992. And my mom was out to celebrate her 25th birthday with a few friends and her mom at Newport Landing. The topic of men came around as my mom had broken up with her fiance of 7 years at the time, and he happened to be coming into town the next day and wanted to see her. My mom was on the fence about it, but knew she wanted something different than going back to that relationship. As her friends asked her, well, what kind of person do you want to be with anyways? My mom looks up and said, I would want to be with someone like that guy, and gestures to a man who had just entered the place. And in that moment, my mom locked eyes with this tall, dark, and handsome man across the room as he was saying something to his friend. Abruptly, my grandmother said, who? A man with a bunch of tattoos and a baby on his back?
That sounds like my type.
And after that comment, they moved right along in conversation, thinking nothing of it. Within a few moments, the man and his friend and his baby were seated at the table right next to my mom. The 1-year-old was distracted and crying as he wanted the balloons tied to my mom's chair. And naturally, as someone who worked with kids, kindly offered to tie one to a chair at their table for the kid. The initial introduction turned into them all making conversation, which turned into them combining their tables, which turned into the man asking my mom out. In parentheses, she put, I think we all can see where this is going.
Yeah.
Long story short, they went out that very night, and my mom and dad have been together ever since. I always think the stars perfectly aligned for them so well because I think she just might have settled for what was comfortable and went back with her ex if she hadn't seen him. I thank the Lord that my dad and brother walked into Newport Landing that day, or else who knows what would have happened. They were married about a year after they met, and although they have gone through some trials in the past 30 plus years, they've always remained at one another's side. Sorry, I don't know why I said that. That's not the sentence. I think my brain just filled in the...
It felt very natural.
Yeah, have always remained each other's best friend.
Oh, okay. Ashley, how long have you just been
I
rewriting
think
the stories?
I stuttered and was like, fix it. And just like inserted a sentence that was, you did not write. I apologize. She continues. Oh, and if you thought that wasn't unrealistic enough, remember when they locked eyes across the place and my dad said something to his friend? Yeah. My dad said, and I quote, "That's the girl I'm going to marry over there."
Oh,
We love a confident king. We love the confidence of being like, there she is.
That is like, I feel like that's everyone's dream, but I think me too, because I'm so like emotional and mushy. Like I just like, that has always been like, that's what you want to hear from every guy. Like I saw you and I was like, she's it.
And here's the thing. You don't have to be like emotional mushy. Like I love Valentine's Day. That's hot as hell.
Yeah.
Whether it's from a guy or a girl. Like if your partner took one look at you and knew that you were it, like that is, yes, please. Take me now.
I love it.
She continues, I attached a picture of the day that they met so you can better visualize the story. Also, I'm completely shocked that there's a photo since obviously there weren't cell phones back then. Like how awkward to have your mom take a photo of you and a guy who just asked you out while having his baby there.
Thank God though.
Honestly. Anyways, I hope you both are doing well and I'm wishing you the best year. I look forward to your podcast every week and I am thankful y'all do what you do. Honestly, like I'm thinking of the grandma and the mom being like, well, who do you want to date? And then them just sitting back watching all this happen and being like, take a photo.
Yeah.
But here is literally her mom and dad, and her mom's holding her future like stepson.
That is so crazy.
Isn't that wild?
Oh my gosh, I love it.
She worked with kids and was good with kids. How cute is that?
I love it.
Also, he's giving 80s with the tank top and the visor.
Yeah.
Love it.
You know, hopefully this was the medicine we all needed.
It was for me.
Just as much as I have trust issues now I have hope in the impossible.
Yeah. You guys deflated and now you've inflated.
We tore you down, then we picked you back up.
Picked you back up.
Stronger and better than ever.
It's like Sour Patch Kids.
And then come back next week and we'll tear you down again.
I thoroughly loved this. So if you guys want another Meet Cute story, we have plenty of content to go through. So when we post this episode on Instagram, go straight to Instagram and comment that you want the rest of them because we have so many. And I did scan a lot of them and they were so freaking cute.
Yeah.
So obviously we can't read all of them today, but would love to do maybe a couple more Meet Cute episodes.
Yeah.
I would love. And that means that there's still time for you to send in yours. So if you have one, send it in. Title it Meet Cute.
I will say my ex, our Meet Cute is like really cute. I will say, I think when I finally like healed and got over my ex is when I let the good memories back in.
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes sense.
No,
I think you get so...
That makes perfect sense.
You
That's
have
how it
to hate
works.
them for so long, but then you're like, no, I like there were good things. Like it wasn't just like a full like waste of my time.
Yeah.
So I was going through just like a rough time. And I was like home. I had been home for like a few days and was just kind of like depressed and like not feeling anything. And a guy that was a part of the friend group I hung out with in high school, like texted me randomly. And when I hung out with this group in high school, like they were like crazy is an understatement. Like the group of people I hung out with, we would like hang out in like Del Taco parking lots and like one of them would like light their hair on fire just to like see what happens. Like they were wild.
So essentially, Taryn is a hoodlum.
I was a hoodlum. No, I was the one throwing the water to make sure like their hair was extinguished. But they were crazy. And so this friend, I definitely didn't think he was like a Christian or went to church. So the text was so intriguing to me because he was like, hey, I know it's been a while. My church is having a worship night if you want to come. And I think like if it would have been any other text, I would have been like, no, because I was like going through it. I like didn't want to do anything. But I was so like fascinated by that because I was like, wait, his church? A worship night? Like what? So I was like, I texted one of my friends and I was like, hey, do you remember this guy? And I was like, he just invited me to like church. And she's like, what? And I was like, we have to go. I'm like so curious, like what it's going to be like.
Intrigued.
So we're driving, and even driving there, I was like, oh, like, I don't know. Like, should we just go home? I was like on the fence. But like we get there and we park and we're walking into the building. And as we're walking up the stairs, I like look up and this guy, like we like run into each other. And he was like, hey, I'm so-and-so. And I was like, hi, I'm Taryn. Nice to meet you. And we just like looked at each other for a minute. And like literally in my gut, I was like, something's going to happen with him. Like I immediately knew.
Yeah.
And so then like the whole night, like we would both just kind of like, I would catch him looking at me. He would catch me looking at him. And he was kind of like just getting out of something. But like literally like after that day, it was just like the most immediate. And it was like so crazy how I went there because of like my friend.
This other guy. Yeah.
And then like literally like happened to be like walking out the door when I was walking in. And it was just like immediate. And I knew.
Obsessed, Taryn.
Yeah.
How fun.
It was crazy. 4 years later.
I love it.
It all went to hell.
That's the inflate and then the deflate.
Inflate, deflate.
Build you up, tear you down.
Build you up to tear you down.
You bounce back and you're doing better.
What made you click on Jackson's profile? Was there something specific or you just were attracted?
We met on Hinge and he did the first like message where it's like someone's interested in you. And the photo of him was so freaking adorable. He's one of those people that has one of those faces where his face looks one way and then he smiles and it's like a completely different face.
This is wild. Continue and then I'll tell you why it's wild.
Okay. Just completely different face. And I wouldn't say he has like a resting face, but it's like the smile fully encompasses and affects everything. His eyes, his eyebrows, like his cheeks, like it's one of those all-encompassing smiles. It is hard not to look away. And it was like an excellent, really like well done photo of him just like full on smiling. And his smile is one of my favorite things. So like from then on, I just remember being like, love that. He just looks like full, like so happy. Mm-hmm. And it's just, again, like, he just has such a great smile. When we get married one day, you'll see a photo and I'll be like, proof. Yeah. But until then, take my word for it. He has an excellent smile. And that first photo was all I needed. And I was just like, yes to that.
That's crazy because for the guy I'm talking to, it was the same thing. Like I obviously was attracted to his first photo, but I'm like clicking through his photos and then there was one of him smiling and I was like, yep. Like his smile, like same thing. It changes like his whole face.
It's contagious.
And it just like draws you in. Like you're just, cause him too, he's kind of has like, not intimidating, but kind of like,
can be.
He says he's like, I'm not an approachable person. Yeah. But then he smiles and it just like makes me melt every time. Yeah.
Yeah. Excellent smile. Yeah. So yeah, I wouldn't say we have a cute meet cute. Obviously it was Hinge and we just like clicked and went on a first date. But that first profile pic.
Gotcha.
It's very important.
This is why, like, every time I'm scrolling through...
Yeah, I think I know where you're going.
Through guys' profiles and every photo is them like... I'm like, do you want me to be afraid of you? Like,
explain what you're doing, though.
Oh, yeah,
she's doing this, like, elbows out.
Just, like, this, like stank face.
It's tough.
Yeah, like,
they're trying to look
hard.
Tough. And I'm like, listen...
And then there'll be, without a doubt, there'll be something because probably enough people had said something. One of the prompts is like, I swear I smile. And it's like, well, put it in there.
Listen, if everyone's telling you to smile more, like you probably should.
Because all my mind's going to is like, you're way too like macho, masculine for me. Or you have like a snaggle tooth that you won't show.
Or you have really up teeth. Like one or the other.
But yeah, it always blows my mind when I'm like, this is how you want to like.
Me too. I'll look through and I'll be like, interesting you chose that photo for your first photo.
Or it'll be them like flipping off the camera and I'm like, okay.
Yeah. Well, but see, maybe this is I don't think it is, but maybe this is my villain showing because I would do this every first day of school. I put in so much thought and effort into my first outfit back from summer vacation. And I'd walk into school and I'd be like, that's the best you got? Oh. Like
to everyone,
well, not to everyone, but like to some people. And it's so funny because clearly like I just prioritize that and other people didn't. But on your dating apps,
you have 6 photos.
I can't
to get me.
I can't get your personality. I don't get to hear your laugh. You can't say something like super smooth and charming. I'm looking at photos of you. They need to be good.
Yeah.
They need to be good. It's hilarious.
Yeah. Anyways, this is, if you are a man and you're still here and soliciting, Ashley got, it was because of a smile. Me, it was because of a smile. So throw in a
Smile
pic.
more. If you take anything away from today.
You catch more bees with honey. Just saying.
Factual.
Okay. Here's the Valentine's dad joke you have all been waiting for.
We all were waiting for it.
Why shouldn't you ask a pastry chef to be your Valentine?
Damn it. I can't think of anything.
It's totally fine.
I can't think. I literally went through all of like Great British Bake Off terms. Got nothing.
Because he'll desert you.
Damn it. It was too simple.
Too simple. You
I was
went
complicating
too
it in my head.
complicated.
Guys, happy Valentine's Day. If you made it to the dad joke, we love you the mostest. If you want your story read or your meet cute read on this podcast, you have to email them to us. And what's our email, Taryn?
adviceunsolicitedpod@gmail.com.
If you want more meet cute episodes, comment them on our first Instagram post for this episode. And we'll talk to you soon.
Love you.
Bye.